Ever caught yourself scrolling endlessly through social media, suddenly fascinated by the lint on your carpet, or even organizing your sock drawer when you have a truly important deadline looming? We all do it. We put off tasks, knowing full well it'll cause us stress later, yet we just can't seem to stop. For too long, we've just blamed it on laziness or poor time management. But what if I told you there's a fascinating hidden science behind why we procrastinate, deeply rooted in how our brains are wired? Here's the wild part. Procrastination isn't a character flaw. It's an intricate dance between our emotions, our primitive brain, and our sophisticated prefrontal cortex. At its core, procrastination is often an emotional regulation problem, not a time management one. We use it to escape or avoid negative feelings associated with a task. Think boredom, anxiety, frustration, insecurity, or even the fear of failure or success. Our brain, in its infinite wisdom, simply seeks immediate comfort and relief. So, let's break down the hidden science. First, there's present bias and temporal discounting. Our brains are hardwired for instant gratification. A small, immediate reward feels more valuable than a larger reward in the distant future. So, the pleasure of avoiding an uncomfortable task right now feels way more appealing than the future benefit of getting it done. Your brain literally discounts the value of what's coming later. Then, we have the crucial role of emotional regulation. When a task triggers uncomfortable feelings, your brain's limbic system, the seat of your emotions, screams for avoidance. Procrastinating provides an immediate, albeit temporary, mood boost. We shift our attention to something more pleasant, and poof, the negative feeling is gone for a moment. This creates a vicious cycle. You feel bad, you procrastinate to feel better, which then makes you feel worse later, leading to even more procrastination. Another key player is your executive function. Located in the prefrontal cortex, this part of the brain is responsible for planning, organizing, initiating tasks, and self-control. When you're stressed, tired, or overwhelmed, your executive function weakens. This makes it incredibly hard to push through the initial resistance of starting something difficult. And don't forget perfectionism and fear of failure. For many, the pressure to do something perfectly or the fear of not doing it well enough can be completely paralyzing. The task becomes so daunting that your brain opts for inaction rather than risking a perceived failure. It's a form of self-protection, believe it or not. Finally, there's the planning fallacy. We tend to optimistically underestimate how long tasks will actually take and how easy they will be. This leaves us less time than we truly need, increasing stress when reality inevitably hits. So, what are the key takeaways from all this hidden science? 1. Procrastination is often about managing your emotions in the short term, not about being lazy. Recognizing this shifts your perspective from self-criticism to understanding. 2. Your brain is wired for immediate comfort. Understanding this allows you to strategize around it rather than fight it blindly. That temporary relief you get from avoiding a task actually reinforces the whole procrastination cycle. Breaking tasks down into tiny steps, focusing on just starting, even a tiny bit, and practicing self-compassion are powerful antidotes because they directly address those emotional hurdles. The more we understand the science behind our actions, the more power we have to truly change them. Procrastination isn't a moral failing. It's a complex, often unconscious strategy our brain employs to cope with discomfort. By bringing these hidden mechanisms into the light, we can begin to work with our brains rather than against them, and finally break free from the procrastination trap. What will you start working with your brain on today?